Hey everybody, welcome, welcome, welcome. Dr. Melissa Volley's on here and we are live. Sorry, I had a little technical difficulty getting on, but I wanted to come to you today and just see what questions you have, see what has come up. What has it been your ahas from the summit so far? I hope you're loving it. And please, let me know that you're here so that I can answer your questions. And I thought we would just talk a little bit about stress and what I do and the pieces of how I help with stress management, unless there's questions. So I'm definitely here to answer questions. But until they come up, we're going to talk a little bit about what really is stress and how does it affect your body and what it does and why I put together this health summit is because stress affects us in so many ways. And I wanted to bring in the experts to you guys so that you could see there's different ways that we can handle and manage our stress, whether it's through however our stress comes in, if it's because of our job, because of our lifestyle, because of different things. And these are just some, different ways to start being healthy now. We talk about joint health and we talk about heart health. And today we talk about the healthy entrepreneur and how a new tomorrow with Ari and with Bert today. So I hope you've watched those videos. If you haven't, make sure you take advantage, watch the videos. And that way you can see what journey they have both been through on each of their health journeys as entrepreneurs. Both of them have had amazing journeys, and I myself have had an amazing journey to get where I'm at. And so, I'm going to share part of that here today and just let you know that we're going to talk about stress. We're going to talk about how to control it, and we're going to talk about how to really take charge of your health. And so just for me, stress actually can cause physical damage. And stress, what it does, it's our fight or flight system, and in our self that it's meant to react in stressful situations. And what happens is we have overstressed our bodies. Our society has made it so that we are completely stressed almost 100% of the time. We don't wind down. And if we don't find ways to wind down that are healthy ways to wind down, I'm not talking about grabbing the bottle of alcohol or anything like that. Yes, that can help reduce some, but that's not always healthy for you. And so I want to talk about healthy ways, and this is take charge of your health. So, a healthy way for you to actually start taking charge of your health is to put some of those vices down and pick up some of the simple steps. As you watch the videos this week, pick up a simple step. You're going to get a simple step from each one of my expert speakers. You're going to get several, but pick one that's going to resonate with you. And stress, it can cause a lot of things to go wrong with your system. I mean, stress can actually cause you to have high blood pressure. Stress can actually cause physical damage. It can cause you to have symptoms of not being able to breathe, not being able to move right. It can cause immobility. It can cause fatigue. Sleep is a huge stressor on our bodies. If we don't get enough sleep, then our stress levels go higher. And so it's one of those things. Those are just a few things. A lot of people get a rash, or they're anxious, or they get have that anxiety moment, or they have a panic attack. And those are just a few of the things that can happen when stress affects our body. But most often, I can't say that I have found a disease state yet that hasn't been affected some way or somehow by stress. And that includes all the way from like Alzheimer's to Parkinson's to even sometimes when we have an injury. The injury could have been some kind of stress response in our system. And if you watch, when you watch Chris this week, you'll pick up on that. So make sure you watch Chris's talk, because we're going to talk about some of the things that could cause, our changes in our neurological section. So make sure that you find ways to de-stress, whether it's a meditation, whether it's breathing exercises, whether it's coming and talking to me and getting some consultation. When you do come and talk to me, I go through your medications and we go through your supplements, because optimally we want to optimize and get you down to the minimum number of medications for you to be on. And so we have many different techniques that we can go through and talk about that. And sometimes it's a matter of, changing your lifestyle. So lifestyle medication is a huge chunk of what I do. And often we don't want to hear that because it is harder. However, when we try and reduce our stress by optimizing and changing our lifestyle, it often becomes a lot better. You get that when you go to the gym and you work out and you get that good endorphins feeling. Those are things that can help reduce your stress. Okay. So those are some things that are great. Thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate you popping on here with me. So just type in your questions, and I apologize if I can't see them. I'm trying to see all the questions here. I don't see anything coming through. So this is my first time streaming live through YouTube. So hopefully there's not any major questions. I'll try and pop on the other screen over here and see if I can pull up, make sure that there's not any additional questions coming through that I just can't see on my screen here. So I hope that you're having an amazing day, and that I am so thankful that you came to watch me today. And let's see if I see any questions. I don't see any comments on this one here either. So I'm just going to talk about stress and anxiety right now, unless other questions pop up. So when we talk about, like I say, when we talk about stress and anxiety, it can affect different things within your system. And if you can make those changes, so it could be supplement changes, it could be lifestyle changes, I want to talk to you about that. And so I've brought in the experts this week that we're going to talk about. We talk about ways that the endocannabinoid system, how it is useful in helping our bodies. We talk about some pressure-free methods where there's things that, we're not using medication. We talk about essential oils and how good they are for certain things. We're going to talk about heart health and how eating right and changing some things can affect your heart now and in the future. We are going to talk about, strength training and how to appropriately do strength training. And so those are a few things. So you don't want to miss out. Make sure that you stay tuned. Thanks for popping on, guys. I see a couple more popping on here. So thank you very much. And like I say, if you have questions, just pop those in the chat. High blood pressure, we're going to talk a little bit about that right now, because high blood pressure is a thing that stress can cause. And stress can actually, lead to that mechanism inside your body causing your blood pressure to go up. Now, you can sometimes control that with diet and with exercise. If you're reducing your sodium intake and you're watching what you're eating, you're increasing your activity, then sometimes you can actually get that blood pressure to go down. Doesn't always work that way. And sometimes medication is necessary. And often medication is necessary, especially at the beginning when you've first been diagnosed with that high blood pressure. What I want to challenge you and encourage you is to take charge of your health. Get it so that, maybe you need that medication for a little while, but so that you don't have to be on that medication forever. So let's chat, and let's, leave me a comment below, and we'll touch base so that we can find a way so you can actually take charge of your health, and we can figure out what your goal is. Is your goal to get off of that medication? Is your goal to play with your grandkids and not be out of breath? Is your goal to run a marathon? What is your goal? And so I'd love to know that. Pop those questions down in the comments, and that way I can see them. Thanks. A couple more people joining in. Thanks so much. Those are just a few things that can control maybe high blood pressure. And sometimes, medication is necessary to begin with. And then I want to optimize you to be able to get down to the minimum amount of medication and potentially even get off. And I will help you work with your physician or your nurse practitioner, your PA, whoever you're working with, to get you down to that optimum level. And stress does so many things to our body. Stress for me actually caused my throat to close off. And I did not realize that for a while. But as I look back, of course, that actually the stress of my job had actually was closing off my voice. And so my body was reacting by causing my throat to close. Now I've had surgery and I'm doing great now. And I took that stress out of my life. And I haven't had to go back and have surgery again, which is amazing because the doc told me I'd be back in 6 months. And it's been over 2 years. So there's things, once you find a way to actually control that stress and help manage that stress, which is what I'm here for. I'm here to help you do that. Dr. Melissa is here for you. I want to help you along the way, help you get to the point where you can, cook dinner for your spouse, have some intimate time with your spouse, have fun with your kids or your grandkids. What is your goal? Is your goal to walk your daughter down the aisle or to be at your son's wedding? Those are things that I want to help you with. And as we go down this journey, there's different paths. And so each person is unique and individual. And I want to help you meet your goal. Is your goal to have more fun with your friends? Is your goal to lose weight? Is your goal whatever, to get down so that you're not taking 100 medications? Because in our society today, as the pharmacist, we have a saying, it's called a pill for every ill. And what we've done is our society, our healthcare system, it's basically sick care. We go to the physician and we're expecting to get a prescription. And when we get that prescription, then we take it. Sometimes it's a short-term thing, and sometimes it's a long-term thing that we have to be on. But ultimately, we want to manage it so that you're not on it forever. If that's the case, that doesn't have to be. So we have to look at your goals and what are your goals for being on that medication or being for your life. Your life goals. What are your life goals? And that really ties into your health, because if you don't have your health, what do you have? Without your health, it's very difficult to go on. I've seen patients come in who are 80 years old who act like they're 40, and I've seen 40-year-olds come in that act like they're over 100 because they just haven't taken care of themselves. And so the time is now for you to take charge of your health. Right now, start today. If whatever you've done in the past, if you've been doing good, let's do better. If you haven't been and you want to start now, let's start today. Let's go ahead. Let's take charge of our health. Let's get going and make sure that you can have an impact, so that whatever you want in life, you're going to be able to gain. If you can have your health, then there is worlds open to you, because that is key. Health is wealth, and making sure that you stay healthy and get to the bare minimum where you're not having to revolve around a clock with taking your medication. And I've been there with other clients and patients and family members. It's like, okay, we have to do this and do this. And for a certain amount of time, yes, that might be necessary, but let's get you to the optimization level of what you're actually having to take. And I have a lot of tools in my tool belt. So some are supplements, some are not. It just depends upon what you want and what you're looking for. So if you want to take charge of your health today, let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to give you just a little simple step right now. We're just going to do a box breathing exercise. And that box breathing exercise is what you're going to do is you're going to sit up straight. And I realize I've been a little hunched over here. I apologize for that, because I was trying I felt like I was in your living room with you. So sit up straight. Take a big deep breath in for 4 seconds. So 2, 3, 4, and then you're going to hold it 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you're going to release for 4, 2, 3, 4. And you're going to do that. And that's called a box breathing exercise. And that box breathing exercise is going to help you, number one, calm down. It's going to help clear your brain. So when you're getting ready to go into that important meeting, you're getting ready to go into that anxious situation, you're getting ready to get on the road and drive, which is just nerve-wracking these days, take a couple of seconds, do that box breathing exercise, and then you're going to feel so much better, and you're going to be able to take on that challenge. So that's my simple step for you today, is to do that box breathing exercise. And I'm not seeing any comments come in here. I see people who are watching, so that's great. Just double checking my other monitor here. So I'm not sure what else you want me to talk to about. I'm going to go live again on Thursday. So send me a message and we can go through a different topic on Thursday. Let's talk a little bit about anxiety and how anxiety can affect our life. So anxiety is when you become over anxious or over exaggerated, your body becomes heightened. So often we get that feeling in the pit of our stomach, kind of like those butterfly feelings, or if it becomes like a panic attack, you can actually stop, go into an area where you potentially stop breathing for a second, hopefully not for very long. Hopefully somebody's around, like call 911 for you if that happens. But we get into this state where it's like, oh no, oh no, oh no. It's an overwhelming state. And so what I want to, just let you know that is normal to a point. It's normal for us to be anxious before we take a test. It's normal for us to be anxious before we meet our future in-laws or our future, our future daughter's boyfriend or something like that. So it's a natural state for us to be a little bit anxious when you get those butterflies and those feelings in your stomach. What I want you to realize is to be able to find a way to control that anxiety and hopefully control it without a medication. And that breathing exercise I just gave you can be one way to do that. There's also ultimate other ways to do that, and we can talk about that another time. There's so many different things, and anxiety and depression. Anxiety often leads to depression. So depression has actually been ruled by the World Health Organization, one of the most crippling, I can't remember the word exactly, one of the most crippling disease states out there. It actually affects 1 in 4 individuals will become depressed or be put on an antidepressant medication. And often that is because you go into your doctor and you're just not feeling right. You feel that brain fog, you feel that fatigue, things just aren't right. Maybe you get those butterflies in your stomach and things are going on and you're just like, what am I going to do next? What is going to happen? And so you go into the doc and you go into your physician's office and your physician, depending upon your physician, they may run some tests, they may not. They may figure out, okay, what is it? But often there's really nothing good that they can actually give you. And the good physician will try very hard to give you something, and often we will persuade them and say, hey, you know what, we have to have something. And so a lot of our society, especially women, have been placed on antidepressant medications. And that might be necessary for a short period of time, but you may not be depressed. It may be something else going on. And so we need to talk through that. And there's nothing in the little medication bag that says for brain fog. And so there's just different things. But what happens also is when we go into the physician and we get put on a medication and we're told, okay, you're going to be on this medication. Well, we never stop it. And sometimes, there's a choice that you can get off of a medication. I never want you to stop abruptly. That is not what I'm saying. I want you to be able to talk to your physician and to your pharmacist or call me for a consult, and we'll walk through how you can slowly get off of that medication if that's the key. If you don't want to be taking that forever, because often we're just given I see patients come in and they bring me, we call a brown bag session. They throw all of their pills in a bag. They used to be the brown bag, the brown paper sacks. Now we have plastic bags or cloth bags. They bring in all their pills and they dump their pills out on my desk, and there's 10, 20, 30 things that they're taking, and that's including prescription medication, over-the-counter medication, and supplements. And maybe they don't need to be on all of them. And the thing is that they started taking it and nobody told them to stop. And so they just continue, or as a supplement. They continue taking it because they don't know if it's working or not. So let's chat about that. So go ahead and, leave me a comment, shoot me a private message. You can email me at melissa@coloradowife.com. Happy to answer your questions. We can set up an appointment time for us to chat and go through that, because we don't want you to be on all of these medications and all of these supplements if it's not necessary. We want to optimize the amount of things that you are actually ingesting, and we want to optimize your goals for your health and for life. And so reach out to me. Let's continue this chat. And please, if you have questions for Thursday, I'm going to come live again Thursday, same time, 1 p.m. Mountain Standard Time on Thursday. And I know it's getting ready. We're going to the holiday weekend. So I wish you all well. Please continue to watch the videos that I've put together for you. I've brought in those experts and interviewed them. And then you have the opportunity to actually purchase those videos if you want. And there's a link in your email for that. And then if you want to continue with me throughout this journey of your life, reach out to me and we'll make a special appointment. If you want to stay in a group setting, I have a paid Facebook group that we can get you in, and you'll be having access to those experts. The majority of them are in there. From time to, they'll come in and they'll answer your questions day to day, and we'll have challenges that will go on throughout the months, and we'll bring in a guest speaker from time to time. So let me know if you want to be in that group as well. Just send me a message, and then we can get you hooked up and get you in there. So I hope you were enjoying this session, and I want you to right now take charge of your health. It's time. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. Have an amazing day, and we will talk again on Thursday. Bye-bye.